Should never gave this dude a mic.
Here we go!
He's killing it. Watch out. He's showing love and he's mad about it. Madluh. That's why we say,
come on, man, you already know.
Madluh.
He's a long way from home, not knowing what's in store. He left everything behind. To his past, he closed that door. Bittersweet memories, they invade his dreams. She's such a part of him. In his blood she remains. And he's missing West Virginia. Thinking about her brings a smile back to his face. He's missing West Virginia. In his heart, she'll always have a special place. Though his life has taken him away, from her he can't break free. And he's missing West Virginia. He wonders, is she missing me? All those carefree summers when he was just a kid, and all the teenage trouble, the backhand of his dad, growing up and leaving when his mama begged him to stay. In his mind he goes back, he can never get away. And he's missing West Virginia. Thinking about her brings a smile back to his face. He's missing West Virginia. In his heart, she'll always have a special place. Though his life has taken him away, from her he can't break free. And he's missing West Virginia. He wonders, is she missing me? Virginia, I wanted to be home. West Virginia will always be his home. West Virginia, West Virginia.
You know, today is different, and I'm gonna tell you something is different because I don't know who's performing this stuff, right? So this is gonna be like introductions, like a MF, okay? Michael Coleman of See Your Shadow Songwriting is in here with us, and oh my God, that song just blew everybody's mind right now. The chat is going crazy. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, that's great. I didn't realize that was going to be one of the ones that you were playing, and I forgot how much I actually loved that piece.
You saw that, right? I saw you. You was like, oh my God, it sounds so nice. Did I do that? So, yeah, let us know, because as if people don't understand, See Your Shadow is a songwriting entity, right? Can we explain that? And of course, definitely let us know who is performing that.
Yes. So what See Your Shadow is, we're a collaborative network of vocalists and musicians, and how we differ is the songs are the stars of our show, as opposed to the artist. So that's why so when you see our work, it's very blank canvassy. It because we put the song out front, and that's why songwriting's in the name of the organization. It's all about the material, because sometimes you can get focused on other things and lose sight of the material. So we put the material out front.
So I can actually say that was Missing West Virginia by See Your Shadow. All right?
Yes.
I can
Yes.
say that. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Let me I did it. So, an amazing song there. Now I'm hearing this. Mike, let me can I call you Mike?
Yeah.
All right. The songwriting entity. How did that come about for you? When did it get started?
Well, you know what's interesting. When I decided to venture into music, I had a milestone birthday, and I wanted to quit the career that I was in, which was managing a law firm at the time, and so I wanted to set myself apart from other writers. I just didn't want to be Joe Blow, the writer, and trying to break through the market. So I came up with the idea of forming myself as an entity. And that's how we present our work. We present our work as the entity, and we have the whole network that brings the stuff to life, but everything comes from this mind here. And so that's how I present the work. I mean, I'm an entity.
Wow. So this started in Columbus, Ohio. All right.
Yes, we got launched in Columbus, Ohio. Yes.
Nice. And Ohio has its history of musicians. There's a lot of history there. And this namesake of the company or entity, right? Please, I don't know how people judge these things, okay? It's because your birthday lands on Groundhog Day?
Yeah, my birthday is Groundhog Day, and so that's how I came up with the name. And it's so funny. The original logo was a groundhog coming out of the ground, and with the shadow being cast, and then the shadow was wearing a cowboy hat. That was our original.
Wow, that was nice.
Logo.
I gotta go check that one out. That's so.
And then when we rebranded, then we rebranded to our current logo right now.
And I'm just let you know, Mike. Like, you can't get more country than that. Okay, you can't get more country than bringing the groundhog to life. I'm telling you. Definitely one of those great American traditions that we have here. I follow Groundhog Day because global warming.
Yeah.
So we definitely gotta have. I need those animal instincts to tell me what's going on. With those things. But now, do you have a celebration day for your See Your Shadow Songwriting company?
You know what, we tend to celebrate our anniversary every when it rolls around every year, and that's August 28th is when we've got the incorporation.
Coming up soon.
State. So when that comes around every year, we do something for that, and I mean, but I think when you're loving what you're doing, you're celebrating all the time.
So I know that there is a single right now that has gotten a lot of talk and has gotten you guys iTunes chart topping situations, award nominations. I went off the title first.
Uh-huh.
I will tell Jesus you said hello, right? I think this is it's already deep as it sounds, but if you're the one telling Jesus you said hello, okay, let me know what was going on. What made you write this one?
Well, what's so funny about that particular piece, and when the audience hears it, generally people who hear it think that it's my personal story. But actually, the idea for the piece just came to me out of the blue, as with a lot of the pieces that I write. And Missing West Virginia is an example of that.
Stop.
I had never been to West Virginia at the time that I wrote that song.
No. There's no way. You had to drive there, get a keychain, because there's no way Wow.
Yeah. No, and at the time that song was written, I had never been to West Virginia.
You
and
have to
and,
stop
and
lying on my
Yeah,
show.
yeah. There's an interesting backstory with that particular piece because I was working with my publisher down in Nashville, and every time we had a conversation, he would always say, "Michael, I met the singer. You should write for him." And I'm always like, "Yeah, whatever, yada yada yada." Yeah. Every time you're always telling me about some person, that's your man.
Yeah.
And so and so we finished our business, and then I hung up the phone, and then the line "Missing West Virginia" was stuck in my head.
Just
So I called. So I called. His name was Daniel. I called him back and I said, "Hey, Daniel, I mean, what's up with this? I have this line in my head, Missing West Virginia. I think we can do something with this. We probably should explore it a little bit more." And then he told me that the guy that he was telling me about,
yeah.
okay, was from West Virginia.
Okay.
And he just had lunch with him the week before.
Okay.
And the singer told him at that luncheon how much he misses West Virginia.
Get out of there. There's no.
Yes. True.
That
story.
is
true story.
That's universe stuff.
Yeah. True story. And that's why I love telling that story because it's a true story.
And that song is beautiful.
Yeah, I love that piece, and this new iteration of it with the new "See Your Shadow" sound. I think the boys did a phenomenal job. But like you were asking about, "I Will Tell Jesus," that just came to me out of nowhere.
There's no way.
So
let's get to it, and then you let me know this another crazy story because this is no way. This is no way. Oh my God. "I Will Tell Jesus You Said Hello" by See Your Shadow.
He missed a ball playing catch with his dad. Forgot to look both ways. A car was coming way too fast. Doctors told his parents they had to make a choice in all the confusion. They heard his voice. "Don't cry for me, it's gonna be okay. We will be together side by side one day. I know it hurts, but you must let me go. By the way, I will tell Jesus you said hello."
Kissed him on the cheek, said that last goodbye, leaving that room, asking themselves why, driving home in silence, they held each other's hand, even through the quiet, they heard their little man. "Don't cry for me, it's gonna be okay. We will be together side by side one day. I know it hurts, but you must let me go. By the way, I will tell Jesus you said hello."
Gray hair, lines in their face. They lay flowers on his grave. Though they still miss him, they're no longer sad, as they took comfort in his last words. Don't cry for me. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
We will be together side by side one day.
Side by side.
I know it hurts, but you must let me go. By the way, I will tell Jesus.
I will tell Jesus you said hello.
What? Okay. So we are only 10 minutes in, people, and you got there's a lot of life to that song, right? A lot of life. You start thinking, right? I my only experiences or some I'm thinking of my chats, right? I'm thinking of my chat because I know the people have gone through things, and I'm just where Mike, you can't tell me this came out of nowhere.
It's just to be the God's honest truth. It did come out of nowhere. And this is the second iteration of this particular piece. I wrote that song many years ago, and then it's set on the shelf. But it was always one of my favorite pieces. And so when we rebranded See Your Shadow and wanted to update the sound, I pulled it off the shelf and I envisioned it as a duet. So I want to give a shout out to Drew Middleton and Caitlin Dyer who do the performances on there, because they just knocked it out of the park, and that was our breakout record. That was our first iTunes #1 on the country charts in South Africa. That was the first one that got it started.
Congratulations on that! Wow.
So yeah, I mean, but that piece, a lot of people think that it's my story that I went through that, but it's not. And I just wanted to tell a story, and people can find healing in that chorus. And so when we were putting the new body of work together, I was struggling with my mom who was terminal. She ended up passing away a couple of years ago at the time that we were putting the body of work together. And the beauty of that piece is you could plug any situation into those verses, and you find healing in that chorus. And that's what I think the beauty of that piece is. Even though Nashville executives hated it.
What?
Yeah, hated it. When I was
because you threw Jesus in there, right? Because that's
when I started pitching it, I think somebody told me, "Oh my God, this is a duet. Are you kidding me? The public will never want to hear a duet." So the song works perfect as a duet. And that's how I heard it in my head. Was telling the story of this couple. We have the father's perspective and we have the mother's perspective.
Yes.
And so this goes to show you that the public responds to things, and the industry doesn't give the public the credit that it deserves when it comes to what they want to hear. And that's why we're so fortunate for independent artists and people that support independence, because those are the true lovers of music, and they're loving what is being put out, and not loving what somebody is telling them that they need.
Yes. Oh my God. Can I give another damn applause for that? Because I'm telling you, the struggles of independence is real. How? So, I tell you right now, I didn't expect a duet, right? And you guys probably, did it that way. You left everything out of it because usually you already know from the beginning the duet's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So you left it out of there. When you threw in another beautiful voice right after another beautiful voice, right? Because you gotta. I'm not a song guy. Okay, I just spit bars. I guess whatever it's called. But the the action of that was, if it was only a man telling that story, or if it was only a woman telling that story, it'd be missing for a lot of people. There'd be a lot of things missing. So I love the fact that you knew that as you were writing and putting it together. I don't understand these execs. You know what? Let's talk about that a little bit, because a lot of people don't understand that side of the business. What are some, I know obviously you presented some songs to people. What are some good and bad things that you're seeing industry based versus independent?
Well, what is really going on right now. This has been going on for a long time. So someone has a record that's a hit,
Yeah.
and so then all of a sudden for the next 5-10 years, every record has got to sound like that one record, and people can't visualize anything else.
Okay.
And that is really common in the Nashville market, especially. So if you listen to some of the music that has been coming out, they generally sound alike.
Yeah.
There is a formula. For me, from my perspective, because I vote I'm a member of the Country Music Association, and I get to vote every year as far as the awards go. And generally, I'm only wowed by very few. Where a piece just hits me, or an artist just hits me, and I just go, wow, oh my goodness, something that's fresh. And I think a good example of that is when the band Perry came along. If your audience knows, a piece called "If I Die Young," and that swept all of the awards the year that it came out, because it was so unique. It was just so captivating. It was that wow that the industry was looking for, and that's why it was so successful and swept all the awards that year. And I think it's very rare that you do get that wow moment. Years ago in music, you used to have that wow moment all the time, with different artists and with different songs. They were just coming at you. The innovation, just how great they were. And now it's just a formula, and it's a formula that the industry says, okay, this is what we're going to tell people that they want to hear, and this is the only type of music that we are going to produce, because our audience is too dumb to want anything else.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. No. It really is interesting, and that's why it's so important that supporters of independence keep supporting independence, because that really is how you get unique and innovative stuff. I was on a show, and I was talking about how just how you can see how music has evolved over time. Years ago, you used to have an intro. You could have an intro that was up to 30 seconds. That's where you musicians got to shine and really could showcase their
Still remember
chops.
that. Yep.
And then industry folks said, okay, that's too long. Audience doesn't have the attention span. That they're too dumb. You got to take your intro down to 10 seconds. And that was the thing for a while. And then the exec said, nope, audience is still too dumb. You got to take your intros down to 3 seconds. And now when you listen to modern music, it's generally a hard open within 1 to 2 seconds, because execs say that the audience is too dumb and you got to get to them right away. They don't want to hear the beauty of a piece, and so the audience isn't being given credit for what it is that they want.
Yeah. And if you guys didn't know, we're talking to Michael Coleman of See Your Shadow Songwriting, and we've just heard a few songs that have just taken over our hearts, and thank you for that. And now we're talking about that nitty gritty, that I guess going into the myth, right? People do not know the business, right? So then when you go out there and you have been part of the business for a very long time and have taken your skills and make entities, and so many musicians are there with you and supporting what you guys are doing, and creating magic. And what we were just talking about right now is when the industry doesn't really listen to the audience. So you know what's crazy now, though? I have noticed that the industry listens to, or maybe just watches social media. Like,
Yeah.
it seems as if they won't take you serious unless you have your own backing. Now, because of that, many unsigned artists, indie artists, have thought that maybe our social media is kind of the way to go, right? Or the only way to make it, because no one is going to try to build you from the ground up, right? It's just the lazy part of the business. I don't think that really matters. I don't know what your take is on it when it comes to social media.
Well, I mean, it depends on what your demographic is. I think for really young people who are up and coming, it's very like if you're 18 or 19 or 20, it's very important. I mean, but you got to have more than that in order to sustain yourself as an artist. You have to have substance to go along with your style, and I think that's what's missing now. You can have plenty of style that gets you millions of followers, and be deemed what's called an influencer. But however, what are you influencing them to do? That is the key. If you don't have any substance behind you, all you're doing is leading 11 million people that also don't have any substance behind them.
We're catching that right now. I don't want to talk too much about current events because we're not talking about those things. But I did notice a rapper by The Baby who kind of like blew up, and for the last 2 or 3 years, and they really thought that no matter what he says, he's always going to have his following, and that has demonstrated to be false. People will disappear on you because it is 2021, and you can't just sit there and think that you're a walking Jesus. Like, you will definitely lose people in an instant.
Exactly. I mean, but what's interesting though, and this is kind of why we here at See Your Shadow put the emphasis on the work itself, because when I'm long gone, when any of us long gone, it's our work that stays behind. And when you really think about modern day work, I mean, what is it going to say 30 years from now? Is it going to have an impact? Is it going to touch people the same way, as it did when it came out 30 years from now? People are going to get the same emotion. Are certain songs that are out right now, do they have classic sustainability? And generally, the answer to that question is no.
No, it's not even one-hit wonders, because one-hit wonders last forever. It's something worse than that. It's like crazy. Anyways, if you guys are just talking to us, we're talking to or just checking in. Michael Coleman from Arizona. Now you're in Arizona.
Yeah. How'd you
get all the way over there?
You know what? It's just so funny. I had an opportunity that took me here. This is just how the universe works. All right. So I had an opportunity uh, that brought me here to Arizona. And it was an opportunity that I turned down 4 times. I kept telling these people no, 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 no. And so then I decided, okay, I turn these people down. They're coming back a 5th time. They're giving me everything that I want. I'm just going to look like a fool or
Yeah,
something else
narcissist.
if I keep telling these people no. And they say, and so the opportunity brought me out here, and which was perfect because I'm originally from San Diego. And so within a couple of months of relocating See Your Shadow to Arizona, my mom in San Diego got really sick, and I had to take care of her. So that made me being here made me closer to California, and I think it was just all part of some plan that said that that you need to be closer to California because this is coming down your turnpike that you're going to have to deal with. And
Yeah.
so it was a blessing, actually.
Yeah, we can say blessings here. It's so, and condolences to mom. You know,
Thanks.
it's sometimes they are usually at the right place when you need something. You know, See Your Shadow Songwriting, Michael Coleman. We're talking about his history, how he got this together. I'm trying to figure out is how do you hold so many artists together? I can't even get my brothers and sisters to talk to me every day. Like,
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, it is not easy. It has not been easy over the years. I've had, I mean, so sometimes I've been called, especially in the studio, I've been called Ike Turner.
okay, I see you.
Because I cracked the whip. I mean,
Oh
it-
man.
it's just so funny. I mean, it's hard wrangling people like right now. I'm in pre-production on the music video to the next record that's coming out, and so trying to wrangle talent and and getting the location actors and actresses together and things like that. So it is, when you're dealing with artists, it is quite an undertaking, and you really just have to stay on top of them all the time.
Now, with that, right? This is the part where it's like some people have found artists, right? They found artists, they're very hungry, but then they kind of like, like they don't know where to go. They don't know what's the next step. And then you're guiding them, you're leading them to the water, as they say.
Yeah.
And then they get carried away because they're getting spoiled. Right? They're getting spoiled, right? And then they just believe they can show up late. They don't have to do anything
Yes.
anymore. They become divas, right? They even show up to shows late.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got to go from here to here. We don't got time for
Exactly.
you to walk, on your own program. You can't be on your own program. Those days are over. We believe in you.
Have to be professional. That's what I tell people all the time. You have to show up on time, and you have to show up. And on time doesn't mean doesn't mean if I say I need you at 8 o'clock, you're walking through the door at 8 o'clock. No, you have your took us there at 7:45 when I
Yes.
tell you that your call time is at 8 o'clock.
And-
You just say,
and
so
for-
much that just goes so far.
and it's crazy because sometimes people find those talents when they're at diva stage.
Yeah.
So they don't know that this kid, girl, or group, they have already done all the believe in, that they're going to be the best there is, best there was, best there will be. And then all of a sudden they become spoiled. They're there. You think they're talented, amazing. And guess what? They really don't know what the hell they're doing. And you became a fan, and now you want to help them, but I'm sorry, but they're already in diva stage, and you cannot get them out of there. And what I'm getting at is Michael Coleman said, you have to stay on top of them. Some artists that you probably have came across probably don't even believe in themselves, right?
Yes.
And it's not
That is true.
insecurities. It's not any of that. They're like just don't want to do it, right?
Although some artists are very, very insecure, though. I'll agree with half of that, because I wrote one of our biggest pieces was a piece called "Yes We Can" that I wrote for the MRDD community. Okay, and then after I wrote the piece and we laid it down, then a presidential candidate used that phrase in a speech, so I had to totally switch the marketing campaign for it. So but 6 weeks before he used the speech, we already had it in the can. But when I wrote that specifically for this particular singer, and his name was Tony Ingham, and he's got such a great voice, and Ohio's got so much talent, but his insecurities stopped him from really rising to the level that his talent could take him, and so I mean, you can only keep telling people that they're good, and that you believe in them, but if they don't believe in themselves, a person like me is not going to continue to back you, continue to pour money into you, I mean, if I have to keep inching you along, I can't make you believe in yourself.
Yeah,
you've got to do it.
And see, that's the key. And I really hope that people understand what I'm saying. I just want people to understand that it really hits hard when someone who is either behind the scenes or even behind the credits, that there is a tough job there when the performer are at a stage where you can't get them out of that.
Yeah.
You can't keep pushing them to a thing. And then of course we're in 2021, that causes other issues, and issues that they have to conquer. We can't do that by ourselves. We could say we're there, but that's all we could do.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because so many people go unrecognized because of that. And for anybody in the listening audience there, that may want a career in show business or wants to be up and coming, the one of the worst things that you can do is to have your friends get in your head and tell you that you're not talented. And because generally it is I say this all the time, that strangers will treat you better than your friends.
True story.
So, and we let our friends get inside our heads, and therefore we don't push ourselves to the limit. I play my demo for my friend and they hated it. Okay. Doesn't mean that it wasn't any good, but because you're listening to your quote unquote friend who probably is secretly trying to sabotage you, you're not going to move yourself forward. And a lot of artists do themselves a disservice like that.
I always tell artists, I'm like, you keep preaching to your cousin. Your cousin don't even like you, bro. Like, your cousin don't like you. He only went to your house because you had that Nintendo. Okay. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Home of the unsigned artists. I got a song here on standby. It starts with hello. This is not one of those crazy stories, is it? Like, I'm gonna get to it right here. It starts with hello by See Your Shadow on QSJRadio.com.
Many views with one vision, many cultures with traditions, many people, make up one world. Every difference we embrace, barriers can be erased. Change begins when we speak this word. Hello, hello. It all starts with hello. Hello, hello.
Can I get a hello in the chat, please?
With hello. Empathy trumps hate when we choose to relate to life that's not our own. With open minds and hearts, understanding starts, much is gained when we speak this word. Hello, hello. It all starts with hello. Hello, hello. It all starts with hello. Just take a moment to engage one another. Every person that you meet is your sister and your brother. Hello, aloha, hello, konnichiwa. It all starts with hello. Hello, bonjour, hello, guten tag. It all starts with hello. Hello, hola, hello, shalom. It all starts with hello. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Hello, ciao. It all starts with hello.
It all starts with hello. See Your Shadow Songwriting. I got people in here that's saying ni hao ma, which is Cantonese hello, and then somebody goes yo. Streets hello. Okay, I got you.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, very 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 nice song. And you know it's one of those. It's one of those songs everybody needs to hear once in a while. You know, like these times. It's come on, man. Like, are we really looking? How are we looking out there? You know, like how are we looking out there? Why is everything like that?
And that was why we released this. And what's it's the anchor piece for the See Your Shadow Summer of Diversity and Inclusion. And a lot of times we don't realize that, you know, it's a simple message that's a powerful message. You know, every time we interact with someone, no matter who it is, it starts when we greet them. You know, that sets the tone for everything, for the conversations, you know, that need to happen. And, you know, what's so funny is that a lot of people, when you think of diversity, a lot of people think of, you know, like racial diversities and things like that. But the reality is that anybody's life who's different from your own, you know, it is an opportunity to embrace something new. And you know, it's more than just race. Diversity is more than just race.
It is. If I just want to talk on the experience, because you know when people talk about things like this, it brings me back to this time. I'm in the Navy, right? I've been in the Navy 21 years. Okay, I'm done sailing. All right. But there was this time where I got to go to Portugal, and I just wanted to know what was going on there. Portugal's next to Africa, all this, you know, the connection, all this other crazy stuff. So I went on a tour, and you know, it's funny, but you don't realize it. But there were friends there that I thought were like people I had to impress, right? Like my sailor friends, my sailor guys, and so I went out with them on a tour, and these people, they care for their country. They're there. They're giving you their history, things that they know, facts, all this stuff. I'm into it. I'm open about it, right? So I can say hello, right? you gotta understand, like you gotta have a privilege to say hello. What was crazy is that I hated that tour because that kid that I thought I had to impress, was kind of like, the food is trash, the areas, where's McDonald's at, and all this disgusting lingo that you can only hear from, people from our country. I'm gonna just say that. And of course I know people from other countries, they love their country and they're one-sided with it. I get it. But that type of person that's not open to, history that's older than our own country. Yeah. Or even something in our own country that's very older than you, and it means something to someone else. You don't have to like everything, but just be open about it. And I kind of like really didn't understand. I still remember I had this fish soup. I don't eat fish. I'm sorry. I just can't hear. There's a fish head. There's soup.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what is this? But because I was in tour, and I just wanted to taste what this country was about, I went in for it. It wasn't something in my gut feeling. It wasn't like a truth or dare. It was because I was open to it. And when I didn't have, I kind of lost respect for that kid. Instead of wondering if I ever had to care for a person like that again. And that was something that I didn't know about myself at that time, because or I really thought that everybody was like me. And now I find out that I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like that fish soup, but I really appreciate that. I went on that tour, and not only did I find out about that country, I found out about myself and who I would identify as people I would keep close to me.
Yeah, and hopefully as we get older, we do grow, and our lives are a constant period of self-discovery, but if you're not open to discovering new things about yourself, then you're not going to discover new things about yourself, and I think we do ourselves a disservice by being so closed off, and I think and that really is the beauty of that particular piece. I mean, it's a departure from what I normally write. I made the message of I made the writing of it very simple, but the music part of it is complicated, and so because I wanted the message of it to be just to be so simple, and it really is a simple message. I mean, everything starts when we say hello to somebody.
Nix out of the United Kingdom says communication is key. And also her and Lori out of New Jersey, they want to understand the songs written by and performed by, are they the same person from the songs that we have displayed for them?
No, they are not. All the songs that the audience has heard so far, they are written and produced by myself. And now you've heard Drew Middleton, you've heard Caitlin, and Drew Middleton is the voice behind a lot of our newer work. But I See Your Shadow is different, and I think I alluded to this earlier, or maybe even said it outright, is that the songs are the stars. So from See Your Shadow. So therefore, when you see the SYS, when you see SYS, it is the song that is out front, and that's why songwriting is in the name of the organization. I don't want folks to get mired in, okay, what this person looks like, what this person is wearing. They're too big to be out front, or this person is, like we had a on our female empowerment anthem. One of the singers was 72 years old. Okay, wow. So you would never get that.
72. You got Dolly over there. What you got?
To perform on a record, but by putting the song first, you concentrate on what we are talking about and what the piece is, as opposed to what the artist looks like.
Oh my God. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home to the unsigned artists. Next, I will definitely drop links to where these songs can be found. I got you guys. Hold on. Okay. I'm in the middle of something. But so it takes me somewhere where you kind of like, I'm not good with faces. All right. I don't know when I stopped watching TV, but I have. I was watching something last night. I had a few minutes, so I watched Versus, and it was the LOX and Dipset, right? They're rapping crazy. I know their music because of, I'm from New York and, all that stuff, right? So I know Jada's face. I know all these people's faces. And then I looked at, I know Cameron, but Cameron don't look the same. And I'm like, whatever, I know his songs, right? So it takes me to a place where, I could tell you guys all the stories of these artists, but if the artist was right in front of me, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I always felt like that was something that was missing. Have you found yourself in situations where you're at these events, even meetings, where you're not recognizing who is in front of you and they're probably a big deal?
Yeah, yes, that has happened to me a couple of times. Actually, I was at a CMA cocktail party in Nashville. Just sat in a line, waiting for the bartender, so I can get a drink. And
this is country music.
Yeah.
What is the A stand for?
The Country Music Association.
So the CMA, which is the country music TV station, right? They were throwing a cocktail party.
Yeah. It's the organization that is the flagship for country music.
Okay.
And so I was at this cocktail party and had no idea who this person was, and they were just cutting up in front of me. It was very funny. And I still couldn't even tell you what her name is now. I mean, but she was the star of that show Nashville at the time. It was on the air at the time. I had no idea who she was. I mean, all I knew was that she was just a person cutting up in front of me. Just if she was hilarious, hysterical. But then you had people around me who were like, oh, that's so-and-so. I'm just like, okay, I don't know who that is. So.
I guess I'm messed up, right? Oh man, I guess I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm a fan of this stuff. I'm a fan of all types of music, but I'm sorry, I just don't know who you look like. I can't just sit here watching TV. I'll listen to your stories, podcast, or maybe even something on, that you showed up.
And that really is how that really is how people get captivated as well. I mean, and we were talking about this earlier, the style versus substance debate. And one of the things that I've had the privilege of being nominated twice to be the poet laureate for the state of Ohio, and one of the reasons why the Ohio Arts Council recognized my work was because on the written page, without anything behind it, it evoked a certain amount of emotion. The substance was there, and then you add the musical instrument. I'm the only songwriter ever be nominated for that position, and so when there is substance behind your work speaks for itself. I mean, you don't have to go out wearing a meat dress. You don't have to go out doing all these crazy things, to get attention, because your work speaks for itself. And I think that is the some of the elements that are missing in the art today. Whereas how people get captivated is just by listening to the work, and that's why we put our work. Songs are the stars of the show.
I know where that meat dress reference came from. And I'm sure she's learned that,
Yeah.
She's a very beautiful artist, performer.
Very talented.
Yes.
Can't take away from the talent.
No.
So very extremely talented. So
extremely.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a break real quick, and we're gonna get into a song. Today I do because I don't. Okay. Shout out to everybody listening.
Champagne on ice, time to celebrate. 2 long years she's waited for this day. She texted the girls to hit the town. She's no longer settled down. Mistakes she made won't be the same. She got rid of that missus in front of her name. Today I do became I don't. She ain't gonna cry, oh no she won't. Her happiness she will make known. She's finally through, because today I do became I don't. Popped that cork, grabbed a glass, toasted her future, flipped off her past, looked at herself in her LBD. She said this time it's all about me. The power she lost is now reclaimed. She got rid of that in front of her name. Today I do became I don't. She ain't gonna cry, oh no she won't. Her happiness she will make known. With him she's finally through, because today I do became I don't. She was before, no idea now what's in store. Her life she took by the reins, 'cause she got rid of that missus in front of her name. Today I do became I don't. She ain't gonna cry, oh no she won't. Her happiness she will make known. With him she's finally through, because today I do became I don't. With him she's finally through, because today I do became I don't. It became I don't, yeah.
See Your Shadow. You can go to seeyourshadow.com for more songs and information and a whole bunch of other stuff. Got the website going. Everything is there. seeyourshadow.com. And just remember, See Your Shadow is songwriting entity. I did hear something. I just trying to figure this out here now. There's something with songwriting, and then there is everything else that comes with it: instruments, melodies, all this crazy stuff. Is that part of your songwriting process?
Yes, yes. It all it all stems from an idea, and then you build upon the idea, and then how I work is, okay, how do I want to bring it to life? You know, what kind of instruments? What's the melody going to be? What kind of tone it is that I want to set, you know, and we were talking about this earlier as when we were doing I Will Tell Jesus She Said Hello. Started with the idea, but I heard it a certain way in my head, and then I had to bring that to life, and that generally is how things come to life with most creative people. And what I love is I love being able to bring something to life from nothing. And that really is the beauty of the creative arts in all forms.
So you got to tell me. I'm sitting here. I know. See Your Shadow has all these musicians in there, but are you humming these things? Are you playing these things? Are you drumming?
You know, I'll tell you a true story. Okay, I'll tell you a story. So years ago, I was asked to, country is what we do now, what we focus on now. But the See Your Shadow catalog has got all genres in it. So years ago, I was asked to write the theme song for the NAGAA Softball World Series, and that is the largest amateur sporting event held every year in the United States.
Yes.
So I was asked to write the theme song for that. So I was at the event when they were coming to Columbus. So I was asked to write it when I was in Milwaukee appearing at the World Series the year before, and then they were coming to Columbus the next year. So on the road trip from Milwaukee, I tapped out the entire song on the dashboard of the car while I was on the road trip. I had the melody. So the name of the song was "Stand Tall" because that was their theme. Yeah. And so on the road trip from Milwaukee back to Columbus, I tapped out the entire thing just on the hood of the car, and just kept tapping it over on the dashboard.
What? Oh, what? On the way there. What? How do these songs come to you? These songs are amazing. They're not just okay. They're not something like, I mean, come on. Like this, what?
You know, I will say this, and not to get too existential or religious, but talent comes from a place that's greater than myself. That's the only way that I can explain the work that I've been able to create over the years. It comes from a place that is bigger than myself.
That's deep. That's deep. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I believe it, because you can't have a song from West Virginia and you never been there. And for some reason, I just want to go visit now, or I miss somebody like I do. It's amazing. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Homie Unsigned Artists. Kratos in the building. Nick's in the building. So we have a demographic of Texas here, the UK, New Jersey. Good. We have, I don't know, I think Spain is in here.
Oh,
how you
fantastic.
Guys doing?
Yeah, the very first piece that I ever had on the radio was on the radio in the Canary Islands.
Nice.
That was really one of the things that got us started. That piece, ancient history.
You know, I didn't want to get too much into the current events, because for some reason that outside world is actually aggravating. But COVID for an artist,
Yeah.
COVID for See Your Shadow, like I know that you can still make music and you could, but the performing part, the part where you're giving it to a live audience. How has this pandemic affected you?
Well, actually, it has been a real blessing to me and See Your Shadow, and I'll tell you why. Because before the pandemic hit, I was doing another project, which we you and I talked about this offline, which was my game show. So that was my main focus.
I really thought you. Okay.
That was my main focus. We were because I was going to launch a television division of See Your Shadow. That was going to be our anchor show, and so I was focusing on that. And so we were filming the newspaper here in Phoenix called the show Phoenix's Latest Sensation, and so we were really getting a lot of momentum with the show, and then the pandemic hit. So when the pandemic hit, then that's when I decided to release the music that I had been creating the year before with our Nashville crew, and that took everything, and then it just took off from there. So when I pivoted to put the music out, it really just blossomed from there.
That's great. That's great. A lot of people took this the other way. They went and said, I can't go to the movies no more. All right. Listen, you weren't going to the movies anyway. All right? You weren't doing all these things that you said you want to do. Okay. It's summer. You went out with your kids. You're good. Yeah. Right? I did. All right. And then I got sick. Whatever. I think it's a cough. Nobody wants to believe their stuff. But anyways, big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. We are going to play a game with Michael, and hopefully we don't get any nipples out of this. Oh my God.
We have now started our fast round, where our guests are asked a few questions about themselves that they wouldn't expect us to ask. Don't worry, it's not like that. Hope you didn't think we were that underground.
We're going to have fun questions here. Michael has been talking to us about his entity, the See Your Shadow Songwriting Company. More information and more songs at seeyourshadow.com. And we're going to go ahead and ask some randoms. And here we go. And what would you name your boat if you have one?
What would I name my boat if I had one? I would probably name it Metro.
Metro.
And the reason for that is my moniker is I'm known as the Metropolitan Cowboy, and so I would probably name my boat.
I did want to ask about that. What is with this Metropolitan Cowboy thing you got going? Almost everything that I see your name on, it's Metropolitan Cowboy. You have literally took that and absorbed that. What's with that?
Well, I got the name from I used to produce a television show for public access back in Ohio, and so that was the name of the show. It was a raunchy avant-garde sketch comedy show, and so we were trying to figure out what would capture my personality, because I always had the cowboy look because of the country music writing.
Yeah.
And so we were going to go with concrete, and then that was already taken, and so then the creative team got around the table and said, well, you dress pretty pretty snappy. You dress pretty metro, and so somebody came up with metropolitan as the adjective, and so it just stuck. So metropolitan cowboy trademark, by the way.
Okay. Metro,
Yeah.
as in the dressy type of guy. Okay, got it. All right. And yes, he got that nice hat on. What's the closest thing to real magic?
Ooh, the closest thing to real magic. I think real magic and superstition are two different I think are kind of the same. I think for me, when my palm itches, I know it never fails.
It never
there's some money
fails.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
it
you
never
go.
fails. My palm was itching just a couple of days ago, and then there was a check from the IRS, and
Get 'em, boy.
My palm was itching one time, and just kept itching, and then I put old jacket on. There was $20 in the pocket.
Nice.
So it's those types of things that I think are magical. There's truth in some superstitions.
You know, when my palm itches, I have a rash. All right, because I don't know. It's funny. So we got our mature audience here, and I knew we weren't gonna get away with it. Nix asks, do you think men should wear pasties? Pasties.
Do I think men should wear pasties? You know what? I think people should not limit themselves. If they want to wear pasties, if they want to wear panties, if they want to do whatever it is that they want to do, I think men, we are very closed into what we think that we should not do, and I think men need to embrace themselves more, and not be mired into what into what society's definition of a man is.
I'm laughing because you couldn't get any more politically correct than that. I'm telling you. So Nick's from the UK asks if you can talk to any artist, dead or alive, who would you want to talk to?
Ooh, that is such a good one. I think there are so many. And I would have to say, I would want to have a conversation with Janis Joplin. I think, the talent that she had, and I think I would want to find out what motivated the road that she took, that ended up in her demise. Because there is a story there. I am a person that is really into the human stories, and the work that we do is about the human experience, and there's stories behind every artist, and who are they is a question that I think always needs to be asked.
Who is the messiest person you know?
Ooh, the messiest person. Now, messy as in messy, or messy as in you need to clean this house up.
I don't even know, because
I would have to say the messiest person that I know. She's gonna kill me if you're watching. My sister Lakeisha is probably the messiest person that I know.
Oh my God!
And not from a standpoint of messy. You need to clean this house up, but you, girl, you just messy. You just messy.
Shout out to your sis, man. I got some messy sisters too. I know. So, Ruby out of Spain asks, what's your biggest regret?
Oh, jeez. I think my biggest regret is probably letting so much time pass with my mom before she passed. I would have liked for that relationship to be stronger. We got really close while I was taking care of her before she passed, but so much time had lapsed, and there was a lot of communication that should have gone on 20 years ago, that hadn't, and that probably is my, would have to say, is my biggest regret.
That's big. That's big. I have one of those too, with grandma. Oh man, like I have some regrets of that. You know, passing by the house instead of stopping by the house. Kratos, he's our Texas Rocket, as they call him. Are lyrics the song of the soul or born from experience?
Ooh, that's a very good question, because I think it's a little bit of both. I think, like so some of the material in my catalog, I haven't lived some of that material. I haven't lived that, but I'm able to write about it. And then I've other pieces in my catalog that are my personal experiences. So I think it's a little bit of both, especially in the country genre. Generally, the lyric comes first in the country genre, and you always want to be able to tap into yourself when you start writing. So I'll give you an example. There was one point in time in my career that I was just writing one song after the other, and I said to myself, you know what, I've got nothing else to give. I can't write another song because it was just too taxing on me emotionally. I was for where I was pulling from, and I just said, I can't do it. But I say that all the time, and then I end up writing another song the following week. So, but it can take a lot out of you, and so it's a little bit of both.
What do you think will finally break the internet?
Oh, you know what? I think well, could be two things. Could be two things. You can only have so much porn out there.
Here we go. Here we.
And videos of cats playing with yarn. I think there's going to be a time where people just say, you know what, there's no new porn out there. There's nothing new, and I'm sick of these cats. Playing with a string. So
cats and porn. Okay, cats and porn. What is going on here? I got a chef from Chicago, AZ. She asked, do you cook? And if you do, what is your favorite thing to cook?
I'm going to tell you, I'm a beast in the kitchen. I love to cook. Yeah, I love to cook. My signature dish, if I'm going to a potluck or something, I'm known for my habanero macaroni and cheese.
Ooh, habanero mac and cheese.
Yes.
You're not supposed to have hot sauce. I gotta try that.
I love to cook. Yeah.
Habanero mac and cheese. Okay. Wow. I gotta try that. I'm doing some touring soon, so
Yeah. You know what? We're broadcasting here from the Oasis, so if you're ever out to Phoenix, you definitely you have an invite to the Oasis.
Did you say Oasis?
Yes, the Oasis. That's the name of the Phoenix. The Oasis.
Oh my! I can't with this. I can't. Okay. Keep going. Mature audience has entered. Look, I can't run away from it. What was this game show? What's going on with this game show? I cannot run away from it. I've been trying to, but the ladies are in the building.
Okay. Put the kids to bed, all right? Okay, so years ago, I wrote this. I wrote this song. It's called Rug Burn. Okay. And so it's and it was a dance track about oral sex, and to even make it even further controversial, it had an LGBT theme. It was LGBT theme. Okay, so it was our dance track about oral sex, and then we had the over the top video that went with it. I don't know if you're familiar with the filmmaker by the name of John Waters.
What? Okay.
Okay. And so his early stuff was just like really, really just over the top.
Yes.
You know, just crazy. And so when it came time for me to produce and direct the video, I said to the crew, okay, we are going to do John Waters on steroids. Okay. So we put our protagonist on this dating game. And the dating game was called "Are You Worth a Rug Burn?" Because that's the hook of the song. Is "Are You Worth a Rug Burn?"
Are you worth a rug burn?
And so fast forward, and I'm still getting death threats about that video too, by the way.
Oh my God!
So
they want me to play it. I'm like,
so check it out on YouTube.
Check it out on YouTube.
Forward,
there you go.
Fast forward years later. When I wanted to launch the television arm of the See Your Shadow branch, I said, what can I do? So I watched the video again, and I said, you know what? I'm going to take this concept that we did in this music video, and I'm going to turn it into a live action game. And that is what we did. So I have this huge 9-foot wheel that cost me a fortune. And like we have 3 contestants competing for cash, and I just put them through the ringer as they're competing for this cash, and it is so much fun.
Wow.
You know, when you're in the audience, it's a thrill ride for the contestants and the audience, because you never know what's going to come up on what we call the rug burn wheel of death. And it's open bar the entire time we film.
What?
So everybody is a little loopy, and it's just a thrill ride and so much fun because you never know what I'm going to come up with what I was going to come up with from week to week. And when you spun that wheel, you did not know what you were in store for.
Oh my God! Are you the host of Are You Worth a Rug Burn?
A rug burn. Yes.
Here with us, Michael Coleman, also the head of See Your Shadow Songwriting, in the building with us. We're in the middle of our fast round. Where can they see this show?
You can see clips of the show on the Are You Worth a Rug Burn YouTube channel.
Are you worth a rug burn on the YouTube? No, I'm not playing it. So you, on the channel is the original video that inspired the show. Then we have the uncut version of the it's not for kids, by the way, of the original video, and then we have clips from the show on the YouTube channel. And go ahead and subscribe to it. I mean, because we got new clips coming out, and it is over the top zaniness. Oh, wow, nice
is what it is, and you will just be you will be pleasantly you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Big shout out to everybody listening. Michael Coleman is with us. Where is the worst smelling place you've been?
Ooh, the worst smelling place I've been probably and forgive me, my folks down south and north. It's 2 places. San Francisco really smells like pee all the time. If you've ever been to San Francisco, you know what I'm talking about. And back, I don't know if it's changed because I haven't been there in a while. But Tijuana, when I was partying back in Tijuana back in the day, that was pretty bad. But San Francisco is up there because y'all know San Francisco smells like pee. So Gavin Newsom or whoever you are out there, whatever the mayor is out there, you need to clean that. You need to clean that mess up. You know, because y'all charge too much, you know, for being out there, and it's just, you know, for a place to be smelling like pee all the time. So.
What celebrity would you rate as a perfect 10?
Ooh. Oh, that is a good one. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna have to noodle on that. I am really fond of. I like Jennifer Hudson a lot.
Jennifer.
I
Okay.
I think she's, and and I also really am am in love with Octavia Spencer.
Okay.
I love her personality, and she is just really very authentic. And let's see, and I'll throw a guy in there. Um, I think the Rock
Yup. I'm telling you, man. That dude right there. What the fuck?
you know you have folks that are just, and I'm drawn to folks who are authentic and genuine.
Yeah.
And there is just there's just a realness when it comes to folks that is really important. I think for me, authenticity and realness. No matter who you are, you have to be authentic.
Yeah. Big shout out to everybody listening. Oh my God, the names that are coming in here. Edwina out of Chicago went ahead and subscribed on the YouTube. She's ready. She's ready. Eddie, what's up, Eddie? How you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. What is the dumbest way you've been injured?
The dumbest way I've been injured? Is that question? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I still have the scar on my knee, on my knee to this day.
A rug burn.
Okay, so my friends and I, we were drunk one time, but back in my hometown, San Diego.
The real story of the rug burns. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a rug burn, but it could have been that.
Okay.
So I'm drunk. I'm this is early days of drinking, so I'm just like going up to the bar. I was underage at the time too, so I'm just
Okay.
just calling shots and calling dudes, and so I'm plastered. Okay, so come time to leave, my friend is like, get your ass in this car, and so I'm like, instead of getting in the car, I get on top of the hood of the car, and then he takes off down the street with me on the top of the hood of the car. Okay, okay, So he's driving down the middle of Fifth Avenue in San Diego, and I'm on the top of the hood of the car, and then he slams on the brakes, and then I just topple over, and I was on crutches for a week after that. But that was probably the dumbest way that I've ever hurt myself.
Oh my gosh.
So kids at home, don't do that. Okay.
They're not gonna listen.
Because
They're not listening.
That was absolutely dumb. That could have ended all kinds of ways, and so that was just probably the stupidest thing I've ever done.
These kids don't listen, Michael. You tell them something, they think you're telling them too much. I'm like, okay, it's your heart, not mine.
Yeah, you know what my stepfather used to always say, hard head makes a soft behind.
Ah, nice. What is the craziest thing one of your teachers has done?
I think, but one of the crazy. Well, you know what? I really haven't had a lot of folks that were too crazy. I did have a teacher one time that spent time arguing with his students, and I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be grown. I mean, why are you arguing? With folks? I mean, but that was, needless to say, he didn't last too long at that particular school. But that probably was the dumbest or the craziest thing. Mr. Luke was his name.
Wow, they even went back and told us their name. Well, Mr. Luke.
He's dead now, so I'm sure. Well, if he isn't, he's damn close to it.
I'm telling you, here's a song coming. I'm telling you, you over here bugging out. Okay, shout out to everybody listening in. Michael Coleman, thank you for participating in our fast round, man. And thanks to everybody in the comments.
Yes, thanks for taking it easy on me.
Oh yeah, we didn't get there, but we got there. We didn't get there. So I'm going to go back to a song just so people could understand the beauty that you guys have here. Like I said, seeyourshadow.com. Also on Facebook if you want to follow them. and subscribe to the YouTube, which is Rugburn, was it?
Are You Worth the Rugburn?
Are You
YouTube
Worth
channel.
the Rugburn, the YouTube channel? Oh,
But we
my
have our own YouTube channel too for the music as well.
Nice.
So yeah, so you can always find me. And you know what? I encourage folks. So I love meeting new people. So I also encourage folks to look me up personally. We have to See Your Shadow page, but you could also look me up for my own on my own personal Facebook and say, you know, give me a friend request. You know, say, hey, saw you on the show, or you know, or whatnot. Look for the cowboy hat. You can't miss it. So that's how you know you got the right one.
Michael Coleman on Instagram. I tell you, check it out.
He's a
You love
long
this
way
piece,
from
don't you?
home, not knowing what's in store. He left everything behind. To his past, he closed that door. Bittersweet memories, they invade his dreams. She's such a part of him. In his blood she remains, and he's missing West Virginia. Thinking about her brings a smile back to his face. He's missing West Virginia. In his heart she'll always have a special place. Though his life has taken him away, from her he can break free. And he's missing West Virginia. He wonders, is she missing me? All those carefree summers when he was just a kid, and all the teenage trouble, the backhand of his dad, growing up and leaving when his mama begged him to stay. In his mind he goes back, he can never get away. And he's missing West Virginia. Thinking about her brings a smile back to his face. He's missing West Virginia. In his heart she'll always have a special place. Though his life has taken him away, from her he can break free. And he's missing West Virginia. He wonders, is she missing me? West Virginia, a wonder to behold. West Virginia will always be his home. West Virginia. West Virginia. Oh, West Virginia.
I'm glad you enjoyed that piece.
It's amazing. I mean, yeah, you start off with these songs, right? I try so hard to like bring up a song and just get everybody in the vibes, and I don't pick them, you know. I don't pick them. I just go with it, and to find a story out that it was just something that came to your head, and then it just all came together. The guy, the singer, the performer was from West Virginia. It just seems like it was something that was meant to happen, even though no one knew it was going to. You know, like
Yeah.
it's that is, I don't even know what that is. You know, I've been trying to figure this out, this whole thing out, this, you know, trying to know what I know, but I keep learning from people like you who have taken the not only the industry by storm, but taking your craft very serious and to the point of authenticity that can never be replicated. This has to come from somewhere, and we found out that you don't even know where it comes from, which is good. And to songwriting is not for you to try to feel, right? You're not trying to feel. You have to feel. Yes. And when you take your experiences, sometimes you need to take some words out so you're not centralizing it about yourself, because there are other people out there that are going to be touched by these songs. These songs, and there's so many more, guys. I'm trying to tell you guys, please go check them out. SeeYourShadow.com. It's a songwriting entity, company ran by Michael Coleman. So many artists. I don't even know how they do it. Remember that the artists are just the part of the star, which is the song. That is the point here. The song has to be the star, because it's crazy in the industry right now. It's like a name brand now, right? Like you kind of like Nike has a shoe, and because you're a fan of Nike, you're gonna wear it even though it's ugly, right? And it's like, no, you have to remember that it's the shoe. It's the shoe. It has to be something, and it doesn't have to be recognizable. And that's something that you also do with your songs, where it's not recognizable. You don't know where it's going. If you had a, it's an incredible thing here. Look, we started the first 10 minutes. Everybody was crying. I don't know. They get emotional. We're still here laughing with you, which is really crazy, because I think we're emotional people. But at the end of the day, we're talking to Michael Coleman. The game show is out there. Please make sure you follow him all over the place. You do so much. So much of it is funny. So much of it is crafty. So much of it is very deep. And no one's perfect. And you mentioned some of those things. But one thing that I know is that we kind of interrupted a few times where we wanted to ask the question, when you do find musicians, artists, performers, whatever it is, what are some of the big advice that you give them? Because this industry is long. You're part of the industry. You went ahead and got into the association because you wanted to be part of the changes and part of the process. And people don't understand that you can't live this industry myth if you're not really living the industry. Throwing out a song out there on SoundCloud, that's all good. You give somebody a place to hear your song or stream your song. But, it's so different when I'm hearing you talk about a song and you call it a piece, right? Because it's something that not only you, other people have put together, and it's art, and art is a piece, right? Versus somebody who is just doesn't take their song serious and they call it a track. Not saying that's something else, but the language is making me understand this a little bit deeper, because hey, I got a new track out. Like, I felt like they just threw underwear. I don't want to. I don't know what to say, but it just felt different when I'm hearing you say, "You really like that piece, don't you?" Right? You see me dazing out. Like, yes, I do, and it's a piece. It's not a. And I don't. Now all these artists are gonna say, "You want to hear my next piece?" No, you can't just say that out of nowhere, because you're still gonna say track or song or something. It's not gonna mean something. Anyways, I sorry I'm long-winded. my question is, when you see these artists, when you see these performers, and you see their potential, what's some of the advice that you try to give them as they're trying to figure out the journey?
One of the things that I always tell folks is that you have to be passionate about what it is, your art. You have to be passionate about your art. When you're truly an artist, it's something that you live and breathe all the time. I tell people, that I work so hard. Sometimes I even work in my sleep, and that is the truth. It's something that you live and breathe. And I also tell folks never to apologize for the work that you create. And I say that because you never know how you're going to be inspired, and especially from my personal perspective, I never know what's going to come from this mind. I never know what direction that I'm headed. I mean, if you would have asked me years ago that in my catalog, in my body of work, I would have a piece like Rugburn in my body of work, I would have thought that you were crazy. But when you're inspired to create a piece, you have to follow your inspiration and then let the chips fall where they may, and be unapologetic about it, because that was how you were inspired to create. And I think a lot of times we get so mired into what are people going to think about our work, and that is not our job. My job is to create the work, and let it fall where it may.
Oh, Mike, like, I really needed to hear that myself, right? I don't know. I never really mentioned this a lot on the show, but lately I have been, because I'm in the middle of a transition, right? I've been in the Navy 21 years. I've been doing this side QSJ thing for a very long time, and I do find myself kind of like, should I have said that? Should I, take back things? The content that I threw out there, is it good enough? I in the middle of this transition thing, people ask me all the time, like, you need to go to this certain social media, right? And I understand why. And it's LinkedIn, right? You go in there, you're trying to find a new job. It's such a different vibe over there. Like, you can, for some reason, I feel like you can't say anything wrong on that side. And people get so offended, like, why are you saying that here in LinkedIn? They have other places for that. But it's like, well, you guys, this is, for me, that's like, okay, I got to get out of here, because I know people are not being real. Okay? The successes do not come with smiles. They don't. Okay? There's tears. There's tiredness. There is, am I worth it? I need, and I need to be able to say that. I need to be able to tell people that right now I'm afraid. And if you want to help, okay, fine. But right now I'm afraid. So I can't just sit here and say, hey, check out my stuff and all that. So yes, I will do that, and I will take that advice as an artist, right? That's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna take that advice as an artist and be unapologetic for the things that I say. Now, that doesn't mean that if I offend you, I won't apologize.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, I want to tell you guys I'm going to come out my fucking face with the things that I know. Because if I don't know, then let me know. And of course I'm going to question your facts, your opinions. But I really appreciate that. And not only that, Mike, I appreciate this conversation, from the perspective of somebody who's running a company, who's Ike Turner in the studio. You know, you're Ike for a reason. You're coming out with these hits. These people are crying from all over the world, literally. And it's amazing conversation I had here. When this next project that you got coming out here, please let us know so we can help with that one. And we would definitely love it.
For sure. And I'm really excited about the next project. Because it's an outlaw country. So I'm really excited about the next single that we've got coming down the turnback. Hopefully we'll be able to create a good video to go along with it. So I'm really super excited about it.
Big shout out to that, Michael Coleman. I'm gonna make everybody cry again because we have to. Okay? We have to. Okay? Michael Coleman, SeeYourShadow.com. His birthday is on Groundhog Day. The long story from Columbus, from the West Coast, back to Arizona, back to the West Coast, back to Arizona. Check it out again. This will be available on podcast. Mike, thank you so much for coming with us.
Well, it was my pleasure, and I'm so glad that we were able to do this. I love the show, and so thank you for having me on.
And we didn't have nipples, but we had rug burns. Outstanding.
For sure, and soon to be a home game too. I got the prototype. So I have a home version of the game that's in production.
Oh my God. We gotta go subscribe, people.
He missed a ball playing catch with his dad. Forgot to look both ways. A car was coming way too fast. Doctors told his parents they had to make a choice in all the confusion. They heard his voice. Don't cry for me, it's gonna be okay. We will be together side by side one day. I know it hurts, but you must let me go. By the way, I will tell Jesus you said hello.
Kissed him on the cheek, said that last goodbye, leaving that room, asking themselves why, driving home in silence, they held each other's hand, even through the quiet, they heard their little man. Don't cry for me, it's gonna be okay. We will be together side by side one day. I know it hurts, but you must let me go. By the way, I will tell Jesus you said hello.
Gray hair, lines in their face. They lay flowers on his grave. Though they still miss him, they're no longer sad, as they took comfort in his last words. Don't cry for me, it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
We will be together side by side one day.
Side by side.
I know it hurts, but you must let me go. By the way, I will tell Jesus.
I will tell Jesus you said hello.
Thanks for everybody watching. QSJ Radio, Michael Coleman, See Your Shadow Songwriting, seeyourshadow.com for more information. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a great night. Let's go raid Cranian. Shout out to everybody listening.